Hello and welcome back. I'm going to be showing you today part 2 of my houseplant tour. Part 1 is up, so go watch that if you haven't. It is my outdoor plants tour, so you will get an idea of everything that I keep outside for the summer, but that means I also bring it in the winter, and as we're getting closer to the winter here in Nebraska, I'm going to have to bring them all in soon. So definitely not really looking forward to that part because I have to find room. And you will see I don't have that much room left. So I'm going to show you part 2, which is in our office, and it includes my greenhouse cabinet and then just a few other plants. So let's get into it. Okay, here we are in the office. You can see my greenhouse cabinet back here, and then the windows in this room, there's only one set of windows, but they face south, and so they do get a good amount of light. There's not as much coming in the summer as there would be in the winter when the sun's a little bit lower in the sky, but all the plants in here are still really happy. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon right now, so the light coming in is about as intense as it's gonna get for the day. So I will start and show you everything in here. I'm gonna try to name it all, but sometimes I forget the names, especially in my greenhouse cabinet. So if I do forget some of them, I will either put them on the screen here or I will put them in the description, which I will probably put all the names in the description anyway, just so you guys can go back and look if there was any that you wanna add to your list of things that you want. So I guess I'll just get going. So the lighting in here might be a little bit difficult to show you guys, but these are the windows I was talking about. They are bay windows, so they pop out a little bit. They get even more sun in them, which is really helpful. But I guess we'll just start over here. So I'm gonna start, this is a Rousseau grow light, and I love these lights. I think these are like by far my most favorite grow lights of all time, just because they're gorgeous and they're extremely efficient. I think my plants love them too. So I have one grow light in here, and then I also do, over in that lamp, I have a Soltech light in there as well. So I have a couple grow lights in here to help with the plants that are in the corners. Over here we have my Ficus Shiveriana, and this one is so pretty. Again, one of my most favorites. I love Ficus, and the coloring on this one just can't be matched. I love this plant. And then I do have, let me move this out of the way. I do have a whole prop box in here, which I guess I'll show you quickly what's in here. Just a bunch of little cuttings. I have that going. I kind of forget about this, so I just leave it shut, mist it every so often, and then let it do its thing. I could probably pot some up soon, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna wait. And then we have my Pink Princess Philodendron, which has gotten some better coloring after I chopped it. I chopped it down right here and then over here too, just because it had a lot of leaves that looked more like this. I wanted more variegation, so I chopped it, put it under the lights, and getting some more pink. So that's a good sign. Then we have my variegated fiddle leaf fig, which this is the plant that is gonna give me the biggest headache ever. It's just a little stick, and it makes me so nervous because it was expensive, but it seems to be doing good, and it has some new growth coming in too. So I'm happy about that as well. I guess we're just gonna see what happens with it. So that's all for on that table. Okay, next is my top cutting from my Monstera that I took from this plant not too long ago, and it is doing well. It's a little dry right now, that's why it's not like perked up, but once I water it, it always gets nice and perky. I love this plant so much. I took the top cutting because these were the top leaves, obviously, and they were just getting so big. I have some double fenestrations there that I think looks so cool. So my plan for that one is to put it somewhere on its own eventually, but I just need to find a spot for it. Then I have my Micans, and this one has gotten bigger and bigger and longer, and I don't always have it right here. Actually, I have been having it up in a bedroom in a south window as well, but it also faces this side of the house, so I put it in here just so I could show you guys. So I have this one, and then back hiding behind here is a Syndapsis trubii Moonlight. So that's just living back there. I have my Hoya carrii on a little trellis, and I have wrapped the vines all around. I have a Hoya Heuschiclana yellow, and this one was blooming, but it looks like it's done for now. So that one's back in there. And then in here, everything's so hidden, but it's Peace Lily Domino, And I also love this one. The coloring on these is so neat as well. It's very, very speckled and freckly. Let's see if I can show you a little bit better. I don't actually usually like peace lilies, but this one, I do like this one. So we have that. I have a, what is this one? This is a Sansevieria Jaboa. And this one, I love it because it has such huge leaves. It's been pretty happy in here. It could be better, but it's okay for now. Raven ZZ is up here with some new growth, a little whalefin Sansevieria, and then my philodendron jungle boogie, which I believe is dealing with spider mites. I thought maybe it was the extraflora nectaries, which it could be, I guess, but I did see spider mites on here, so I personally think it's spider mite damage. Gonna have to deal with that one. Like I said, I have my biggest Monstera over here, and this is one that I've had for a long time, close to 5 years now, and the aerial roots on here are just insane. They are just going crazy. I've tucked so many back into the soil, but there's still so many everywhere, and I personally don't cut them off. I like them. I think they make it look wild, and I just think they're cool, but this needs to be restaked. It's starting to make all my stakes lean, and I need to tie it back up a little bit better because it's just so big, but there it is from back here. I feel like it's by far my biggest plant. Here is where I chopped it to take that top cutting after I air layered it. And then we already have some new growth coming in there, which looks awesome. So that's really exciting. I love to see new growth coming on my plants, especially this one. So I chopped it because it was hitting the ceiling. Chopped that off, and then now it's probably just gonna grow up to the ceiling again eventually, so I guess that's okay. So I realized for my Monstera, you're kind of getting a view of like the back of it because all the leaves turn towards the window. I'm gonna try to flip it around because I do like to rotate it every so often anyway. I'm gonna flip it around and we're gonna see how many plants I knock over in the process. Just kidding, I think it'll be okay. But yeah, let me flip it. There we have the actual good side. This is where all the leaves that have been facing the window, they are finally facing into the room. So you can see everything. But over time, these just start to move, like all the leaves start to angle the window, which of course makes sense. But like these, I didn't even know that these leaves were growing back there. So that one, and then this one is all new too, and it has a few double fenestrations too. So it's always fun to move them around and see how they look after a while. But I just think those are so cool. They're so huge. Next on this little table, I have my philodendron Birkin, and I also love this one. And then I have a variegated heartleaf philodendron, which this one is one of my most favorites. It's pretty new to me, and I love this one. Definitely one I do not see very often. So I was really excited to find this one. Those leaves are just so cool. So my Birkin, this Birkin is pretty old too. It's putting out a lot of new growth, but I've had that one for probably 3 years or so. And then I have my big Ficus altissima here. I love this one too. So pretty. And this one also is up in the bedroom that I'm converting to an office normally, and it's usually under another grow light. And so I just have it here for now so I could show you guys so I don't have to go to another room. But I love this one so much. Coloring on this one is very good as well. I'm probably just gonna say they're all my favorites all the time because I always have different ones I like different times of the year too. But also these little prop containers are from Modern Botanical, and I love them. This one is the Snow Queen pothos cutting, and then a Nanook Tradescantia and a Syndapsis Pictus argyraeus cutting. So these are really cool. They are really easy to hang too, so if you guys need something for that, I recommend those for sure. Now we're gonna move over to my greenhouse cabinet, which I set this up not too long ago, maybe like 4 months ago or so, and everything in here has done so great. I'll start on the bottom. We have a philodendron silver sword, a propagation of that Sansevieria jaboa that does have roots, so that's fun. This is a Hoya Croniana Super Silver, and then a Cebu Blue Pothos, and a Anthurium Superbum. So all those are under here. There are grow lights under here for those. And then I'll do the bottom shelf of the cabinet first. And I have 2 Pink Princess Philodendron. Those are in here. I have some props of my Mandula Pothos that are doing okay. They have some new growth coming, so that's good. I have a little babies, these 3 babies. This one is the Ring of Fire Philodendron, and then the Billetier, and then the White Wizard, which doesn't have very much white right now, so I might have to cut that one back too. Here we have some Anthurium seeds that are supposed to be doing something that aren't yet. And then this Anthurium, I'm pretty sure it's a queen, I believe, or a king. I can't remember now, actually. This is the Hoya Callistophila, a variegated Monstera Peru, a Philodendron Rio, back in there, so pretty. These leaves are like, oh, they're some of my favorites too. They're so cool. This is a Hoya Patella. I have to leave the names in some of these because I'll forget them. I have a Hoya Polynura back in there. And that is all, I think, for the bottom. I use these little, these are plant mats, and I love them too, but I use those for added humidity. Like sometimes I'll just spray some water in here and everything can kind of bottom water, and then this also keeps the humidity nice and high. I try to keep it around 80% in here. And then moving on to the top shelf. This one is where I have a lot of plants I love. I'm also going to be getting and setting up my IKEA Mills bow. I just received it, so I just need to set it up. But I'm going to be moving around a lot of stuff once I get that one set up. I have an Anthurium Veitchii, which the original leaf that it came with in shipping did not make it, but this new leaf has come in my care, and I think these are so cool. We have a variegated Polynura Hoya. This is a Syndapsis Silver Splash, maybe, or something, I think is what it's called. A White Princess Philodendron back here. A Monstera Thai, little baby that needs to be potted up. This one, the roots are going crazy. It's really happy. I have a Monstera Albo. It's a half moon leaf that is finally has some new growth coming in there too. I'm also really excited about that. A Florida Ghost is doing okay. And then this is a piece of my Hoya compacta, my variegated one, and my big plant I dropped and it broke off. So I'm currently rooting that in Leica, and it already has some little roots starting. I have a bunch of different Bellas in here. Well, not a bunch. I have 2 of the variegated Hoya Bellas, the inner and outer variegated. Then I have an Alocasia Black Velvet is what I thought this was, but it looks different to me. So if anybody knows what this one is called, let me know, because I feel like it's different from Black Velvet, but I guess I don't really know for sure. So that one's really cool too. It's just super like thick and leathery leaves. So I think that is all for the top layer too. So that is my greenhouse cabinet. Like I said, my big one needs to be put together, and then once it is, I'm gonna move some stuff around in there and have this smaller one, be more for just props that I'm working on or plants that need a little extra help. But for now, this works pretty good for me, and so use a tray up here for the humidity. I have these grow lights on for 14 hours a day, about, maybe it's more like, I think it's actually 12 hours a day for what my lights do. And I do them every day, and I try to keep the humidity around 80%, and then the temp is around 80 degrees. Everything usually is pretty happy in there. There's been a few things that haven't liked it, so I've had to take them out, but overall, I've loved this cabinet so far. And there you have it. That is my office. There are a ton of plants in there, but part 3 is gonna have even more. This was just part 2 of a 3-part series showing you all of my houseplants. So if you have not seen part 1, go watch that one. Part 3 will be coming soon, and that is my sunroom that has 90% of my plants, and so that's gonna be a pretty crazy one. If you have any questions about my greenhouse cabinet or any other plants that I showed, don't hesitate to ask in the comments. I will be in there and answering your guys' questions, and I hope you guys have a good one. I will talk to you later.